First year, second semester students. Myself Srinivas, your pathophysiology lecturer. Today I would like to explain tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a chronic granulomatous infection caused by Mycobacterium. Tuberculosis is a bacillus bacteria. So here granulomatous means a mass of tissue or granular tissue caused by infection. So this bacteria affects lungs, skin, mucous membrane and nerves. So this infection also caused by other strains also, such as Mycobacterium bovis, Mycobacterium africanum, but they are very less prevalent. Coming to the transmission, mode of transmission is through droplets suspended by the patient or infected person via sneezing, coughing, or during speaking. These suspended droplets containing mycobacteria will enter into the healthy human being where it will cause us infection. And risk of acquiring such infections are more in the following cases: those who are having immunocompromising cases like HIV, those who are taking parenteral drug administration, leukemias, organ transplantation, anti-TNF alpha therapy, diabetes mellitus, chronic renal failure cases. Coming to the classification of tuberculosis, it is classified into primary tuberculosis, secondary tuberculosis. Primary tuberculosis, also called childhood tuberculosis or Gons complex. In this, lungs and hilary lymph nodes of lungs will be affected. First of all, it will affect the hilary lymph node, which are the entry which are these lymph nodes are present in the entry points of bronchi. So where it will first affected, then it will spread into the remaining part of lungs. In secondary tuberculosis, this is also called chronic type of the tuberculosis. This is also called reinfection. So where the cells, that is bacilli, will enters into the apex of lungs, where it will produces 1 to 2 centimeters granuloma in the apical part of each lung. So where it will form a central calcination and peripheral fibrosis. If you observe the histology of granuloma, so we will observe at the central calcination, which is surrounded by the fibrous tissue. So some other classification based on location, it is also classified into intestinal TB, lymphadenitis related TB. In intestinal TB will be observed by contaminated milk. It will form inflammation and ulcers in the intestines. So in lymphadenitis, there is inflammation of lymph node takes place. Coming to the pathogenesis. So here, after entering into the lungs, in the alveoli, there are some defensive cells are there. These cells are alveolar macrophages and monocytes dendritic cells. These cells try to engulf and try to eat them, but they fail to eat. So later, these cells, after engulfing, they will move towards the lungs parenchyma from the alveolar space, where they will try to aggregate together and they will form a granuloma. So these granuloma cells, they releases some of the intermediate chemicals, so they try to digest. During this process, some of the cells are failed to digest these mycobacteria, then they will release into the bloodstream or any surrounding tissues. So this is the pathway for the development of pathogenesis. So anyway, TB can be latent TB or active TB. Anyway, so here the droplet suspended as a patient enters into the lungs of a new person. First of all, engulfment of such alveolar macrophages takes place. Then they will release interleukin 1, interleukin 6 and TNF alpha. So due to release, they will try to eat them, but they fail. So again they will replicate. These cells, they will replicate within the macrophages. So from this replication, these cells will enter in, cells means mycobacterium will enter into the lymph nodes and other organs where they will grow. So due to this, there is a delayed hypersensitive reaction will be stimulated. This lead to the local tissue damage. Due to this damage, a specific immunity then again activated. This lead to destruction of bacilli. Finally, there is a granulomatous formation takes place, which is having central caseous necrosis. So coming to the clinical manifestations, the person will exhibit fatigue, fever, night sweats, weight loss, and cough. Initially, cough is non-productive, later productive. Sputum will be developed. Later, the sputum contain blood, and the person also exhibit chest pain, hoarse voice. Thank you.